Do you crave something sweet after dinner? Do you get hungry if you haven't eaten? Does food give you a lot of comfort and joy? If so, you might be a human. There is a lot of shit that the health and wellness influencers will say to you and don't want you to know about. So what should you be trusting? And most importantly, what should you mute, unfollow, and avoid? If we haven't met before, my name is Lindy Cohen. I'm a dietitian and a nutritionist, and I have done many years of studying at a university, including more than a decade of clinical experience to be able to know what is fact when it comes to nutrition and what is not. And I promise you, I've got your back. These wellness girlies do not. Let's get into it. Here's some of the dumb things you'll hear fitness influencers saying. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. Stop making excuses. Now, I don't know about you, but as a sleep-deprived mum of two who runs a busy business, I do not have the same 24 hours in the day as a 21-year-old fitness girlie who literally has nothing else to do except exercise for 2 hours a day and take endless selfies. We live in different worlds, and every time you are recommending that people do your convoluted wellness morning routines, you are making healthy eating so much harder for the people who genuinely are time poor. You need to stop listening to this advice that just makes you feel shit. It makes you feel guilty for all the things that you are not doing, and it doesn't actually help you become healthier. And here's something else you might hear them utter completely mindlessly. If you want to look like me, you have to have my diet plan, and it's only $600.
Should we really say that? Doesn't really make sense. Just because people eat like this doesn't mean they're going to look like this.
How else am I going to make money if I don't charge my diet plan up? Now, if you hear someone promote a meal plan or a diet that they claim is the GOAT, please run quickly, and do not hand over any more money to these stupid diets that don't work. They are profiting off your insecurities, and they're making a lot of money in doing so. Just because someone is thin and pretty doesn't make them qualified to give you great nutrition advice. In fact, it's probably really dodgy and detrimental. Remember, in health, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. So even if you ate exactly like this very beautiful influencer, you will not look like them. You will not have the same body as them, and you might end up getting some disordered eating as a result. The other thing these fitness girlies want you to think is that losing weight is the pathway to happiness. And they'll often use before and after photos that they have edited the shit out of, posed with all their makeup and their fake tan to try and make you think that losing weight is the pathway to happiness, when it's not. Nutrition and good health is so much more than what you look like. It's waking up with enough energy to live your best day. It's where your hormones are balanced. You can fall asleep easily at night because your brain is free to think of things other than how many calories you ate that day or how many reps you did at the gym. Health is feeling at peace with yourself and liking yourself, something I sadly think these wellness girlies are missing. What about this one? Have you heard this little tidbit? You have to meal prep 100% of the time to stay on top of your body goals.
Yeah, but isn't that super boring?
Yeah, but healthy eating is super boring. Actually, I'm a bit of a fan of meal prep, but that obnoxious form of meal prep promoted by these fitness girlies, where you meal prep sad, beige meals of poached chicken and boiled, steamed, soggy broccoli, is really sad. And it's no way to live. If you have to eat the exact same thing every single day, every single week, and that becomes a very narrow list of safe foods, you are actually doing a big disservice to your body. Your gut functions best when you're eating a diverse range of foods. So one of the big challenges with dieting is it gets us to only eat very small numbers of things that we consider okay or healthy enough. But varying what you eat constantly and meal prepping with diversity and flavor in mind is the smart way to do it. What you're going to do is give your gut bugs lots of diversity to feed off, helping ward off different illnesses and supporting your immune system. And following on from that nonsense, you've definitely heard this. You should always go for the low-calorie, high-protein option. Don't get me wrong, protein is an important macronutrient, but only going for the sad low-calorie options is a recipe for leaving you feeling very unsatisfied after eating. Perhaps this happens to you. You try to be good all day, which means you eat low-calorie, high-protein options, but in the afternoon you end up face-planting into the pantry because you just didn't feel satisfied. Try this instead. Eat satisfying meals. Add extra virgin olive oil and salad dressings to your salads. Add the fun ingredients that actually makes healthy eating enjoyable and doable and tasty. And don't skimp out on all the calories. Your body needs calories. It is fuel for your body. And if you are all too familiar with emotional eating, binge eating, feeling out of control with food, this is something I experienced for more than a decade. And I have a free 5-day course to help you stop feeling out of control with food. I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can start it for free. I promise there's no wellness wankery in there. Have you ever come across wellness advice like this? You have to buy my expensive protein powder.
Shouldn't you just be eating real foods?
Yeah, but then how else am I going to make my commission? God, you're so dumb. Fat burners, protein bars, protein shakes, protein balls, a protein obsession. And you have to spend a lot of money in order to afford these things. The audacity of these wellness influencers simultaneously telling you don't eat anything processed, but buy my very processed protein powder. It is outrageous and I can't believe they get away with it. Here's what I want you to know. You do not need to eat highly processed protein powder in order to meet your protein requirements for the day. It is actually pretty easy to eat enough protein through real everyday foods. It's also really tasty and way more affordable than spending all that money on that powdered shit. Something you might not realize is that your body actually prefers getting its nutrients from food compared to supplements. The absorption rate is way better and you have to eat anyway. So why not go about getting your nutrients from real whole foods? Cook more at home. Get adventurous. Find ingredients that you enjoy cooking with. And don't get sucked into the trap thinking you need to waste your money on the products these wellness influencers are pushing. And don't forget, they get quite a hefty commission from every product that you purchase from them. So please don't waste your money on it. Another thing you have often heard, I'm sure. Make sure you track absolutely everything you eat.
But when people just fall off the bandwagon, it sounds so strict.
Yeah, or they'll get disordered eating, but it's not my problem, so who cares? Calorie counting is nonsense. I have an entire video dedicated to why calorie counting is stupid and you shouldn't be doing it. So please go ahead and watch that video. But just to sum it up, your calorie requirements change every single day, depending on things like the weather, how much you slept, what clothes you are wearing that day. So the idea that you can follow a formula and you have to track everything you eat every single day, not only is it maddening, but it's a very inaccurate science as well. Now, if calorie counting worked, wouldn't you be at your goal weight by now? I think it's incredibly disordered to have to track and weigh and measure everything you eat in an app every single day. It's no way to live. Remembering this, wellness is meant to make you well, not obsessed. So it's time for a new approach to be healthy. If you are looking for health advice that isn't filled with nonsense and BS, I have a podcast that's totally for free. It's called No Wellness Wankery, and it's loaded with tips on how to be healthier without all the BS. I'll leave a link down below so you can listen to it. I promise I won't be profiting off your insecurities if you listen to that podcast. Now, I don't want the comment section to turn into a shame and blame station. That's not my vibe. But what is the craziest thing you have ever heard a fitness or wellness influencer saying? Share below. So I hope you've really enjoyed watching this video. I will admit though that I am actually a health influencer, but I guess I'm a bit of an anti-health influencer. Find me at nude_nutritionist on Instagram. I promise you that everything I am saying is backed up with evidence and research, and I love to poke fun at these wellness girlies. So if you want, come follow along. And thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you next week.